You launched the cruise missile strikes into Afghanistan and Sudan in partial response. I understand hindsight is 2020, but looking back, do you wish you executed a special convert operation against Osama bin Laden on the ground at the time? Like, what was holding back at the time? Since again, it's very easy, for the public to judge, present day, but
Let me really take some time on this. This is I think this is particularly interesting. You may recall during that time, we had no bases in the region. We had nothing on the ground. In fact, we had recognized Afghanistan at that time. We were still dealing with the Taliban at that time. So we had no forces on the ground. And the question is, bin Laden was somewhere in Afghanistan, but how do you find someone in Afghanistan you have no access to it? We had intelligence. This was the best intelligence we had at the time, that he was going to be at a specific spot for a significant number of hours. Why was that important? Because the only way you could get at him, that you have no bases, no facilities, no forces in the region, was from long distance with a cruise missile. To fire up a cruise missile takes a long time from the Indian Ocean to fly into Afghanistan, so you want him to be there when the missiles arrive. So the intelligence had to be pretty good. He'll be there for X number of hours. Okay, if we know when the conference of terrorists is taking place, we can then execute and plan a long-distance strike to try and take him out. Here's the problem. In order to fly a missile into Afghanistan at a specific point, at a specific time, we still had to overfly Pakistan. Okay. Pakistan and India were at each other's throats at that particular point. They had fought 3 wars in the past, but they were on very tough terms at that time. So now you're going to fly a missile over Pakistan into Afghanistan. How do you do that without starting a war? If the Pakistanis thought it was an Indian missile coming at them, they could have unleashed their weapons going into India. So what did we do? We asked General Ralston, Vice Chairman Joe Ralston, we have a mission for you, should you choose to accept this mission. And we asked him to call his counterpart, tell him he was in the area, could they have dinner that evening? And which he did. He said, I'll be in the area, could we have dinner? He sat there at dinner with his counterpart while the missiles were gearing up, flying over Pakistani territory into Afghanistan. And so our plan was, if the Pakistani radars pick up the missiles, General Ralston will be there to hold the hand of his counterpart, saying it's okay, they're ours. If they don't pick up the missiles, well, no harm done. Just get up and walk away. So General Ralston had dinner. He looked at his watch, said time on target. He knew that the missiles, when they were launched, how long it would take to fly over Pakistani territory and hit their target. And so he excused himself, but then being the gentleman that he is, he said, look, I have to tell you now why I'm here. I wasn't just in the neighborhood. I'm here because we flew an attack against bin Laden tonight. And I couldn't tell you in advance because you as a military man obviously would have to report it up the chain of command to your superior. If you did that, that would compromise the mission. If you didn't report it up, that would compromise you. And you probably wouldn't have those stars on your shoulder very long. So that's why I'm here. That's what we did tonight. And I just want you to know before you read about it in tomorrow's paper. Problem. We hit the target bin Laden had left an hour or so earlier. And so that was the only time we really had any information, had any real attempt or opportunity to fly a missile into Kenya.
Do you think he was tipped off at all, or was just by luck that he left from the recon afterwards?
We really don't know. There is some speculation, for example, that we had to forewarn our embassy in Pakistan that there was going to be something take place, and they had to be on guard about it. Because had the attack produced a reaction by those who supported bin Laden, the State Department employees could have been at risk. But we don't know. It could be he just decided to leave. We killed a number of other people that night. quite a few, but we missed him by, I think it was an hour or so.